show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, that just happened. Okay. So if you've been following me, you see that I'm doing my weekly analysis video a little bit different than what I've been doing. Usually I use Keynote and then I edit, splice, and dice everything on iMovie. But I'm using a different software this week, so I just want to give it a try and see how it goes. So hello, everyone. This is Rick Ray from rickrayfx.com/profile. That is my website that you can see on the screen there. That's where you can go to find more about forex trading. So here we are for another week of weekly analysis, and this week starting on the 23rd of August. And what we will look at, as usual, is the high impact news that's coming out, the profit and loss that we incurred from last week's trade setups that I shared with you, and my new pending orders that I have in place for this upcoming week. So let's just go ahead and dive in and look at the high impact news. Some people ask, well, why do we bother with looking at the news? Because if you were watching on Friday, there was something on the calendar and it said Jerome Powell will be speaking. And if you were watching on Friday when Jerome Powell was speaking, the market went absolutely crazy. So this is just one example of why we need to be aware of the high impact news items that come out on a regular basis. So let's jump over to the calendar. This is forexfactory.com, which I always look at and find out what's coming up for the week. And we have nothing on Monday, and then something on Tuesday on the Australian dollar, then the US dollar, and on Wednesday, the Australian dollar again, a little bit on the euro, and more on the US economy. And then on Thursday, the weekly regular item, the unemployment claims, which can be a big mover and shaker. And then on Friday, this is a big Friday, okay, another big Friday. We have the first Friday of the month, so we have the non-farm employment change, which is also accompanied with the unemployment rate. And that's always a big one, the most highly watched high impact news item for Forex traders. So a full week, a full agenda. Be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times, because as I always tell you, these are Asian times that you see here. If you live in Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, these are my times because I live in Southeast Asia. So be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. So let's jump over to the chart here and see what it was that I shared with you, and start off with gold. And these are the trade setups I shared with you last week. And on gold, we had a sell limit, and it did execute, went a little bit the wrong direction, but then came down and gave us just a measly 65 pips before deciding to go up midweek, quite a lot up to the resistance zone that we have there around 1918, 1920. And then this big 4-hour candle here with all of this low pin bar and high pin bar, this is where Jerome Powell was speaking. So we closed at, on that day, on Friday, we closed the U.S. session at 1914.52. But we did manage early in the week to get 65 pips out of that sell limit that I shared with you on gold. The Euro US was a good one. Okay, this did execute on Tuesday and then just continued down, came back up a little bit midweek, and then closed out the week with 150 pips. The Australian dollar, US dollar also did open the pending order, but didn't move much. We only got 40 pips out of that one. Then the New Zealand US, which does trade very much like the odd US, we got 53 pips out of that one. The pound US, we got 75 pips out of that one. Remember, that was a market execution order, not a pending order, market execution order. I told you to buy when the market opened on Monday, which was right here. And then Monday and Tuesday it moved up, and we got a total of 75 pips before it decided to do a U-turn and go the wrong direction. But that was a good one there, 75 pips on the pound US. The USD CAD, all right, was a good one. Okay, a buy limit we had on that one It opened early in the week and then just continued up, came a little bit below our pending order, but then continued up really nicely on Friday in the US session for a total of 108 pips. Then the USD JPY, the UJ, this was also a market execution order, a buy order. I said to open the order when the market opened on Monday, and that went directly into profit. Okay, the very first day you could have got 144 pips out of that. All right, it came down the wrong direction and never got near our stop loss. Okay, and then continued up on Thursday and Friday. But overall, if you close that early in the week, you could have got around 140 pips on that one. The pound New Zealand, unfortunately, well, it hit our stop loss. Okay, the buy limit, which I shared with you, opened, and then it just never went the right direction at all. Okay, just came down, 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 and hit our stop loss. And the Euro CAD got a little bit out of that one about on the second day, third day on Wednesday. Okay, it opened on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday got a little bit out of that one, 35 pips on the Euro CAD. So now let's look at the pending orders that I have in place. I don't have a pending order on gold. All right, I will share with you what I'm looking at on gold is that I expect it to be trading in this range here. We traded in a range here between 1918 and 1900, okay, for these several days. Then it broke down below that, traded in a range between 1900 and 1883 for a few days. And now it's come back up to this 1918, 1920 zone, okay, and it looks like we're probably going to trade in this range here between 1918, 1920, and 1900. Okay, we could possibly break 1900 and go lower. 1883 is our support level. Then we have 1900 as a support level, and then 1918, 1920 right in there. That's our resistance at the moment. All right, if it breaks above this and looks like it's going to continue up, then 1936 will be the next level where it goes. So what do I expect? Well, gold is still bearish. All right, the bears have control. It looks like a little bit here, you know, the bulls are trying to do something, but they don't have any power. Okay, they're not able to move gold up to higher prices. So the bears still have control. And staying below this zone here, this indicates that the bears are very likely to push down to lower prices to 1900 or even lower to 1883. Now, remember, towards the end of the week, we do have the non-farm payrolls, which is always a big mover and shaker. And so we'll on Thursday and Friday, we expect the market to be not doing too much and waiting for that data that will come out on the non-farm payrolls. But these are the support and resistance zones that we have, and I expect gold to be trading in this range again between 1900 and the 1920 zone. All right, for the pending orders that I do have in place, on the Euro US, I have a sell limit, and that's at 1.0810. That's at this blue line here. It's just below that. Let it do a correction. Come back up to 1.0810 for a sell limit. The odd US, okay, I also have a sell limit on that one at 0.6445. It's just below that. Let it come up to do a correction to our resistance, okay, our resistance zone, which has been support. It's turned resistance. Here it was support, and it's turned resistance. So 0.6445 on the odd US. The New Zealand US, a sell limit also on that one with the entry price at 0.5955. The pound US, I have a sell limit on that one, of course. All of the major pairs with the US dollar as the counter currency will be sell limits, of course, because the strengthening US dollar, that means that these other currencies are bearish against the US dollar. So I have a sell limit on the pound US at entry price at 1.2625. All right, it's below that now. Let it make a correction back to our resistance zone here, 1.2625. And the USD CAD, I have a buy limit on that, of course, with the US dollar being the base currency. All right, let it come back down to support, make a correction to support, a retracement, a pullback, and a buy limit at 1.3575. The UJ, all right, I have a buy limit on that one, of course, with the entry price at 145.95. And then no trade on the minor pairs, which I usually share with you, but no trade on the pound New Zealand or the Euro CAD. All right, and before I sign off, just to remind you about the new Copytrade platform that I'm using, which opened up last week. And if you're interested in that, Copytrade is a great system to be able to help you to make income from the Forex market. If you're not interested in learning how to trade or you don't have time for trading, Copytrade is a great way to make income. And there is the website where you can go to find more information. It's rickrayfx.com/Copytrade, or you can just scan this QR code here and that will take you directly to the website. All right. And before I go, just to remind you that this is my QR code, all right, for the Line official group. And it's free to join, no obligation. And that's where I share my weekly analysis video, the high impact news, and also occasionally a trade setup if I come across something during the week that I will share with you. All right, thanks again for being here. I really appreciate your comments and inquiries. And this is Rick Ray signing off. See you again in the next video.